Google just released Nano Banana Pro and it is insane at character consistency and generating multiple shots/angles from one single reference image. And so in this video, I'm going to show you how you can take an image of a person and turn it into multiple different shots, angles, and poses, and then turn them into videos. And just before we get started, I'm just going to show you a little video I made so that you can understand what we're going to go through in the video. Right, so firstly, we're going to start in Google Gemini, or you can use ChatGPT or Claude, and this is going to help us create the different prompts for our different shots and angles. And so my starting reference image was this here, which I really liked. I actually used ChatGPT to help me come up with this. I really like this kind of light lime stripe. I was prompting for like a studio photography kind of photo shoot vibe in like a derelict sort of building area. And so what we want to do is we want to take this and generate different reference images to help us create different shots. And so firstly, what you're going to do is just drag the image into ChatGPT or Gemini or whatever. And I'm going to copy and paste this prompt in here, which I'll put in the description for you. And what this prompt is basically doing is it's generating us 6 different image prompts to basically create us like a visual reference library or set of images for then our additional prompts to create the different shots. So I've got a full face close-up, side profile face close-up, full body shot, upper body close-up, lower body close-up, full body side profile. You don't have to use a mega prompt like this. You could just ask for those shots. But what this is going to do is going to look at that reference image and it's going to basically give us prompts for those different shots. And once we've then got those prompts, we can then take those into Google Nano Banana to create our original reference images. So as you can see here, we've got our different prompts here. And so if I just go into InVideo, which I'm using to generate the images today, I'm not going to actually do the generations for you, but just to give an example, this was the front shot, this was the side profile, this was the standing up one. It came out on a box, but it doesn't really matter too much. I just want to get a full body shot so the later prompts can understand that this is kind of the full clothing outfit. We've got like an upper body one there, lower body one there. You can chuck in as many of these as you want. You might want to get some close-ups of the material if that's really important to you. But once you've done that, what you then want to do is you want to just basically drag and drop all of these in down here as reference images. And this is just going to help Nano Banana understand what the model looks like from different angles to basically increase the chances of having a better consistency. And then what we're going to do is going to go back into Gemini, and I've got another long prompt. Let me just paste this in here. Again, I'll put this in the description. And what this prompt is doing is basically asking us for 5 different shots across different shot types and angles. And so we've got macro shots, which are essentially really close-up shots, where it's kind of like, you know, about there, medium shots, a bit further away, wide shots, extreme wide shots. And what this is asking is basically give us 5 different prompts for each of these shots where, you know, the character is doing a different pose, there's a different angle, etc. And it's also just giving some other context here to produce the prompt. So if I just submit, and just as I said at the start, you can use Gemini, you can use GPT, you can use Claude. I've been really loving Gemini 3 recently. I think it's very, very good. Highly recommend checking out Gemini. I traditionally use ChatGPT and Claude, but using Gemini for a lot more now. Right, now we've got just so many different shots here. What you can either do is you can either look through them or cherry pick them, or what you can do is you can just start copying and pasting them into your image generator. I like to just go basically run them all. To be honest, if you're a bit cautious on credits, you could run them at a lower quality. You could run them through Nano Banana normal model, which is less credits until you find the shots that you like, because they could be quicker. So you can do different ways. If you're not too fussed about credits, some platforms you can have an unlimited mode here, like in video, so it doesn't cost any credits, but then you do have to then wait a little bit longer for the generations. I'm not too concerned here about the credits. They're not too expensive, and I'm just chucking in some examples here just so that you can see that it's what it's producing in real time. I have got lots of other examples down here that I've been generating. Hopefully these don't take too long. I have got it on 16:9. That is a mistake by me, so just make sure you are generating them in the right frame, but it doesn't really matter. To be fair, we can still look at these. So as you can see, this is like the macro. Really like that. Nice side profile shot there. front one here. These are looking like they're actually 1K, so we also just want to make sure that it is also on 4K there. But again, a 1K is going to cost you less credit, so maybe I really like this shot and actually I can just regenerate that, make sure that's at 4K, generate it again. So yeah, highly recommend leveraging kind of the Nano Banana normal model and also lower resolution just to do the testing if you really are conscious on credits. That one's quite cool. Yeah, we're just going to generate these and we're going to find the ones that we like and pick them out. And what you can also go back to Gemini and do is what I love about this process is you can just go back and forth. So you actually say, give me more close-up shots with a wider variety of poses, and I can just keep going back and forth. And then now we're just taste making. Basically, we're just picking the shots that we think are the best and the ones that we like. I find this process is very quick rather than really cherry picking. Oh, that one looks like it will be a good one. That one looks like it would be a good one. Just bang them in, generate them, and then you've got a load that you can then check. Okay, so now we've got a few more in here. Again, I'm just going to go back in, copy and paste these. You get the idea, you get the process here. You can be really picky with, like I said, what your prompts are and that, but I find that, you know, for this example, where I am just looking for different shots and angles and poses, I don't need to overcomplicate and overthink the prompt. I'm just wanting different angles so that I can taste make them. That one there, don't really like that one, but some of these are quite nice. Yeah, I like that one. That's just a nice angle. Just looking at this one here, not too bad. I'm not sure about the way that the line is there. It doesn't look quite right, but again, sometimes it's going to do that, sometimes it isn't. That's why we generate more prompts. Again, you can go back to Gemini and kind of dive deeper into more specific prompts if you really need to. You might say, actually, I want one of him where I want one where he has his hands on his head close up. Put that in. There we go. We've got one there. Nice prompt there. Well, I hope it is. Let's go back in there. We'll generate that. Okay, just looking at the zip one there. That's nice. I like that. Do you feel like his eyes aren't looking straight? I've highlighted this in other videos. And sometimes you feel like the pupils are just not looking directly. I think it's this one that's throwing me. But that's a nice shot there. I like that. I love this black and white on the color. I think it just, I don't know, it just looks nice. Okay, now looking at this one, as you can see, I asked for the hands on the head in the prompt. It's done that. I like that one. Maybe if I wanted this light, maybe down the middle or to the left, I could also go back to the Gemini and prompt that specifically and say, I want the light actually shining right down the middle of him if I really want to be picky with the shots, but I don't mind that. And right, so once you've got all the shots and you've, got your selection of them, we now want to turn them into videos. And so for this, we'll be using my favorite and go-to model, Kling. You can use Kling 2.1, Kling 2.5. To me, I find them very similar when it comes to just subtle animation. And all we're going to do here is we're just going to drag and drop in the image. Right, and now we're going to go for my basic bitch master prompt. Subtle movement, keep camera still. You don't need to overcomplicate the prompt here. I'm not looking for any specific movement from the image. Like, if you just do this, it's very good at just doing what you ask it. Subtle movement, keep camera still. Because the shots I'm using are so like small in time, like 1 second, I just need just some life to the shot. I don't need any really specific movement. And the reason why you put keep camera still is if you don't put that, often it will add like a zoom, or the camera will move, and I don't want the camera to move. I want it to stay still. That seems to do the job for me on the Kling model pretty consistently. So while that generates, we'll just see some ones that I generated earlier. See, that to me, that's beautiful. That is subtle movement, camera stays still. I love the way that he moves into the light. I think that's really nice. We've got this one here. Don't quite know whether I like that light moving down, but that could be quite cool if that was really short clip. This actually is not too bad. Nice subtle movement there. Got this one here. Didn't quite come out right, that one. We've got the zip. Doesn't always do zips too well. See, it's fucked it up there. But again, all we need is that start is good enough. This bit here, bang, there we go. That's enough for the zip. Even that bit, we don't have to use that bit. We're only using there, done. That would be good enough. And then if we just check out this one that's just loaded. Not sure I like the start of that one. But this, just that bit at the end there with just the little, does a little shimmy of the shoulders. That one's nice for me. Yeah, just at the end there. His eyes look a bit funny in there, but just that bit there is perfect. And so again, Just gonna go through that, find the little moments of those videos that look good. And then what you can do, this is optional, is that you can upscale these if you want to. And we can do that via the Topaz video upscaler. Again, we just put in our video, and I believe you just type in upscale here, and that will upscale. I have done one just here. So as you can see, that has slightly upscaled it. If I just pull up the original and that one and compare them, you'll be able to see the difference. Right, so we have the original here on the left and the upscale on the right. It's not a huge amount of difference, a little bit of smoothness added to the face, probably because the face is a little bit further away and there aren't a huge amount of details on the face. But as you can see, if you look at the coat here, look, this area here, you can see there is some upscaling here as well. Here you can see there's blurriness around kind of the crinkles here. Here there isn't. You can look, you know, you can just see it's not a huge upscale, but it's a little bit there. Actually, it really shows well on the zip actually, just here. And just there. So you can do that. You don't have to. Upscaling takes a little bit of time. Not a be all and end all if you're just putting them on social media, because the Kling outputs are 1080. This is just upscaling to 4K. I would recommend upscaling to 4K when you're doing like real close-up. That's where I think you get the best out of it. If it's like a real face macro close-up, I think upscaling just makes it look nicer. And then once you've got all your videos, put them in your editing program, find a decent music track and cut to the beat. Here you can see I've done this here. These are all the video clips there. What I did was originally laid all the images here just to understand how many videos I needed, because I like to figure out, okay, I need 10, 12 images. That's how many videos I need, rather than like guessing and producing 20 videos and or producing too many, too little. Worked out how many videos I needed, worked out the sequence of the images, and then I produced the videos. And then here's the edit. I'm just feeling the edit, feeling where the beat is. You know, you just gotta feel the music and just figure out where to cut. And yeah, that's the video. Hope you found it valuable. Let me know if you've got any questions in the comments. If not, I will see you in the next video.